Welcome, writers, readers, and friends to the Authors Talking Bookish podcast. I'm Donna Norman Carbone, author of All That Is Sacred.
And I'm Hope Gibbs, author of Where the Grass Grows Blue.
We're two debut writers traditionally published by a small publishing house, bringing to you all the experiences that we as authors learn the hard way, so you don't have to.
We'll give you insights from the inception of a book idea to publication and beyond. And along the way, we'll share our love of books from the writer's perspective.
Hello, friends, and happy holidays. We are in the middle of December, and Christmas is going to be here before you know it. This is episode 37, Authors Making the Most of the Holidays. And I am Donna Carbone and joined by Hope Gibbs. Hello, Hope. How are you?
I'm great, Donna. I'm excited because today is the first day I'm using my new computer, my new microphone. So it's all a little new for me right now.
It's working.
Yay.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, I might have started preparing for this an hour before, just in case. So how's everything been going up in Connecticut? I hear you guys have been getting snow, and shockingly, we got a dusting of snow this past week.
Oh, wow. We did. We got snow today. And our local news station allowed you to sign up for text messages to let us know when we have delays and days off. Well, they decided to stop doing that. And this morning I did not get a text. So I showed up to school at 7:15 when I didn't need to be in until 9:30. So I turned my butt back around and came back home and had coffee with the family.
Nice. So in Tennessee, if we had an inch of snow, I mean, it would be that they would stop regular programming because we're just not used to a lot of snow, and so or any snow. And when we get it, it's a big deal. So I would actually know if my school was delayed. So
yeah,
not that I have kids anymore at school, but
we maybe had 2 inches. But when I was driving in this morning, it was really literally me and the plows. And that was it. We were the only people on the road. So I'm driving and I'm thinking, okay, this is strange. I didn't get a text today. And I literally drove in the driveway and there are 2 cars there, probably the janitorial staff. Wow. So I texted my friend and I said, do we have a delay today?
Well, what else has been going on? What are you reading right now for the holidays? Are you reading a holiday book?
I am reading a holiday book, Christmas Letters by Jenny Hale. And honestly, this is my second holiday book this year. I have another one on my list. I read the Collingswood Christmas by Gail Priest earlier this year or earlier this season. And it was wonderful. It just really kind of turned me on to Christmas books. And I'm just all about getting in the Christmas spirit right now. So I just started Jenny Hale's book and I can't wait to finish it.
Yeah, well, I actually, as you know, I'm a tour guide at Bookish Road Trip, and my job is author take the wheel, and I select an author to take over once a month, and then I read their book and I interview them. But this month, instead of one author, not 2, not 3, but 4 authors, I read these 4 books in a span of about 10 days. The Noel Bridge, the Christmas coin, Christmas Charms, and the Holiday Bake Off. And I absolutely loved it. It was just what I needed. I kind of needed to unplug from the world and kind of go into a cocoon. And so the first book I read, I was drinking coffee, but now I'm on a juice cleanse. So I've been drinking my vegetable juices along with reading these books. But I got to say, I am so in love with these holiday books. They're not just light, sappy reads. These 4, each one has a really, interesting protagonist, there's a great inciting incident. I'm kind of into Christmas books or holiday books.
Me too. This is honestly the first season. I have read, The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens many times, actually, because I sometimes teach it. But aside from that, really, it's just been children's books that I've read to my own children. I never really was into reading adult Christmas books until this year. Yeah. So I'm glad I found this new passion of mine.
And you know how I feel about The Matzo Ball by Gene Meltzer. That's
Yeah.
still one of my favorite holiday books ever. Please check it out, everyone, and check out these 5 books. But before we start with this episode, and I want to get to it, it's a great topic. I thought we'd play a little game. Okay, so there's a lot of tropes and there's settings that Christmas books usually have, and so we're going to go and we're going to figure out which one that we like. So first, Donna, small town romance or big city vibes?
Small town romance for me.
That's me too. Second chance at love or forced proximity?
I always love a second chance at love.
Well, you know me. That's what I write. I love a second
Yeah.
chance at love. Okay, a lovable dog or a persnickety cat?
Well, I have a persnickety cat named Maggie, who is my writing mascot. So I'm going to have to go with cat.
I'm going to have to go with dog. Okay, so our couple, will they build a snowman or will they make snow angels?
Oh, definitely make snow angels. I loved
Yes,
doing that with my kids.
that is so mine too. Okay, peppermint cocoa or cinnamon tea?
I'm going to go with cinnamon tea. I love
Um,
cinnamon, not a fan of peppermint.
I'm not a big fan of peppermint, but I'm always going to go with cocoa. So, mistletoe kiss or moonlight kiss?
I like the moonlight kiss. I think that's more romantic. I think the mistletoe kiss is a little cliche.
Okay, and the champagne and cider or eggnog and hot toddies?
Definitely champagne and cider.
Yeah, me too.
Every day. Love champagne.
I do too.
Yeah.
I haven't had it on my juice cleanse, so hopefully
Yeah.
maybe this weekend I'll get into some champagne. But about down the south, I mean, people drink eggnog, but my family loves boiled custard, and so I'm more
Oh,
of a boiled custard kind of girl.
I've
So,
never heard of that.
well, I
That
will
is not a Northeast thing.
it's eggnog, but a little sweeter, more vanilla, and there's no spices. So it's
Oh,
more like
okay.
sugar, vanilla, eggs, and heavy
Yeah.
cream. So,
I like a
but enough
little
of
I like nutmeg with rum. Have you ever tried it with rum?
no. We don't spike our Christmas beverages down here.
It is very good with rum, just saying.
Now, I think I would like to do that. So,
Yeah.
okay, so let's talk about this episode. And this is our last episode of 2024. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, just to let everybody know, we're gonna take a month off and come back mid-January. So we're gonna take a little break for ourselves and to spend time with our family, wrapping gifts, all the Christmas things. Um, so yeah, this episode is about making the most of the holidays and not just the Christmas holidays or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate this time of year, but the holidays throughout the year and also like the national days. We'll talk about that as well. So Hope, what are you doing this year to kind of dive into the Christmas theme with your books?
So currently I'm working on a couple of manuscripts and we're going to talk about that with us here a little bit later. But with my book, it's been out for a while, but I'm still really lucky that it's got a lot of traction on Kindle Unlimited. And so I'm focusing more advertising right now. I take the month off of December completely. I don't do any kind of events. And then I'll gear back up in January. I've got a huge speaking engagement coming up in the spring. And so I'll start back up with that. But for the holidays around Thanksgiving and Christmas, I just kind of stay at home. But I did start doing new ads for Facebook. And so a couple of my examples right here for those who can't see this, if you're listening to us, I basically, it's Kindle Unlimited. So I have a picture of my book, and then I'm trying to bring in that cozy vibe. So in one picture, you have someone who's got a sweater on. You can see a little greenery in the background, a cup of coffee, and it just says Kindle Unlimited. And then the rest of my wording and verbiage will be above it. That's how you do a Facebook ad. And then the second one I'm getting ready to run next week. It's a big coffee mug, and it says Be Bright, and it has marshmallows, and there's a pen, and there's a notebook with ornaments, and there's like a fluffy, furry pillow, and then you have my book, and then I have the tagline, and I love this review that someone gave me, and I use it all the time. And it says, "If Sweet Home Alabama is your comfort movie, you will love this book." And then I tinkered with some other ways, just adding some ornaments, some snow, and then I leaned back into someone holding the book in their hand. electronically on a phone with coffee, because I'm trying to bring in that not necessarily Christmas vibe, but that winter, December vibe. Because before, up until a couple of week ago, I had just a regular hydrangea, what I'd been using. And so I decided to change it up for the holidays. So what about you, Donna? What are you doing advertising wise?
Well, I, like you, my books, both of my books are on Kindle Unlimited. And until I had a fall KU ad going with Of Lies and Honey, because that's like a very fall like cover. So I think it leans into that holiday well. And it had leaves on it. It was definitely a very fall theme. And then I just changed over my ad. It's the first time that I'm doing an ad with both books, because I wanted to lean into Christmas, but also advertise that they're both free on Kindle Unlimited. So I have both books on an ad, and it says, this holiday season, give the gifts of the heart. And I have both books with a quote from reviews that I got from each of them, and two red Christmas ornaments. And on that, in white block letters, is Kindle Unlimited free. So that's both to advertise for, people who might want to buy my books for someone for the holidays, but also advertising for the people who have Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah, and when I saw especially what you did with that Christmas ornament, that's genius. I may have to take that
Yeah.
idea somewhere, because especially with Facebook ads or any ads you do, you need to put the price. And for us, this is Kindle Unlimited, and you need to find a clever way to incorporate that. And with Kindle Unlimited, if you're a member, you can download, I think it's up to 10 books a month for free. And
Yeah.
so you want to highlight the free part, and you want to have that pop of color that somewhere it just immediately draws the eye. So I'm going to put this right back up for those who are watching us. I just absolutely love how you put the Kindle Unlimited free. And you did this, I'm sure you did this like I did on Canva. I can go down like a rabbit hole, and I can just stay there for hours on my Canva creating all kinds of different graphics and things like that.
Yeah, I do the same. I actually am somebody who's very fidgety. I can't keep my hands still. So while I'm watching TV, I do my ads on Canva constantly. And it also kind of puts me in a Zen
Yeah.
mood. I like to do that. It's relaxing for me.
And it's a lot of trial and error. I will make
Mm.
50 before I get just the right combo. And like we said, like Donna was saying that she did a fall ad. I did an ad back in June and July that highlighted my book as a beach read. It had won several beach read awards and romance awards. So I had like a beach theme. And so it doesn't have to be there. You change it seasonally. I will do one for New Year's, and I will definitely lean into Valentine's Day. So those are major holidays that obviously that you can lean into with your advertising.
Yeah.
But there are also other ways to lean into, as you pointed out earlier, those national holidays. So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that, because I look at those all the time.
Yeah, I do too. I actually added a link to our show notes, and it's the National Day Calendar. And basically, what it does is it takes you from one month to the next month, and every day there's a national something. And so I put a couple of these on the show notes because I think they're worth mentioning. There's a National Buffet Day, which I thought about Hope and Where the Grass Grows Blue, because Hope has a potluck supper at her church. And so that would be a good example of her leaning into that idea of a buffet. So it doesn't have to, it could just be like a short scene in your book. It doesn't have to be all encompassing for you to kind of attach your book to that. For mine, I leaned into Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month for Of Lies and Honey,
Yeah.
because that deals with pregnancy and infant loss. So I definitely leaned into that. There are so many different days that you could lean into. There's Women's Fiction Day, there's National Indie Author Day. There are entire months like the Library Month. In addition to some of the, smaller holidays like Mother's Day and Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and what we're talking about this is not really advertising because that's really a one-day thing. And by the time you get traction on Facebook, the day is over. We're talking more about using it on your
Mhm.
social media pages like Facebook or on Instagram or on the new Blue Sky or even on Threads
Mhm.
or writing a blog about it. I
Right.
did this a lot, especially before my book came out, because I still had 18 months of trying to find content. And one day I looked up and it was National Peach Day. And I
Mm.
thought, well, this is perfect because I have a peach cobbler in Where the Grass Grows Blue. And so I did a tutorial on my grandmother's peach cobbler, which was exactly what Penny and Bradley were eating in my book. So it's really great. And it's not just for debut authors. This is for writers who kind of
Mm.
got a lull between books. As we've said, by the time you sign a contract, best case scenario is a year and a half before your book gets to marketplace. And so it's also fun too because it lets the reader into a little bit about your personality.
Yeah.
So Donna, I love the national holidays. I look at it all the time.
Yeah, I do too. And you mentioned something that I can agree with as well is sometimes when you're launching a book, you're so busy posting reviews and, ways to get your books and events that you're attending, but it's those lulls that sometimes you're looking for topics and ideas for people to connect to, and that is a good easy way to do that. It's just kind of peruse the month at the beginning of the month to see what's coming up and
Yeah.
see if any of those things work with any of the topics in your books.
And it doesn't just have to be about your books. It can be about you as a person.
Yeah.
And, because on Kentucky Derby Day, I briefly mention it in my book just as a description
Mm.
of Kentucky, but I don't, it's not really a scene. But for me as a person, I love the Kentucky Derby Day. And that's always a great day. I can post a recipe, my Derby pie that I love to make, or, just the traditions or the hats. I'll wear a hat. So it also gives insight to who you are as an author, but also who you are as a person, because you don't want everything to be buy my book, look at my book review, buy my
Right.
book. You need to give the audience something to care about.
Yeah. Yeah. The audience connects with you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to move into events. There are certain events that you can kind of jump on. Hope and I, every year for Women's Fiction Day, do an Instagram live. So that is, something that you absolutely could do. I did some Christmas festivals this year. I did a couple of them that were very successful. I just sold 50 books at one that I attended, and that was just beyond. And I thought, on the screen right now, you can see that I made up little bags that I bought from Amazon, very cheap in bulk. And I pulled some symbols together from my books that I use as book swag. And so I thought, why not make these cute little things? I call them swag bags, available to people who are purchasing my books as gifts for people. And so not only can they give the gift, but they can also give the swag bag. So I thought I would just kind of take you through. This is the one for All That Is Sacred. And I'm gonna give you a peek inside. So this is a bag of saltwater taffy because it's beach themed. And so I thought that that would go well with the beach. And then I also have these amazing character bookmarks. I call them my paper dolls. If you are not watching, basically what they are is they're bookmarks that are there's an artist and her name is Erica Plum. You can find her on Instagram. And I commissioned her to create characters based on a very short description that I gave to her. And she made these bookmarks for me for all of my characters. So these are a big hit whenever I go to book clubs.
Yeah, and
I
I love them
also,
because it helped me visualize because I saw them before I read the book, and
yeah.
it did help me visualize the characters.
Yeah. And when there's 5 characters, you do need something visual to kind of hang on to distinguish one from another.
Mhm.
I also include these stickers that I get from Vistaprint. I designed them on Canva, and they're circle stickers with just like a pitch or a tagline circling the outside of the sticker, and then my book cover with a beach scene. And I also have these Pura Vida bracelets. If you don't know what these are, they're friendship bracelets. And Pura Vida is an all-woman run business that they give the proceeds to women who make these bracelets in various countries. So, and then the last thing that I have for All That Is Sacred are some sea glass, because those are symbols in the book. And then my next one is for Of Lies and Honey, this cute little bag. I found a honey distributor close by, and I bought a case of honey. And so there are these little jars of honey, and I created stickers on Canva. You can see Belicious is the name on the sticker, because that's the name of the honey business in Of Lies and Honey. In that book, all of the characters are related in some way to bees. They all have some kind of affinity to bees. So I also bought these cute little bee pins in bulk that I give away in the bag, with some twinning teas, all different kinds of teas, and Of Lies and Honey sticker that is much like the All That Is Sacred sticker, that has some elements from the cover and just, a quick little pitch on the sticker there. So yeah. So I sold each of those bags for $12, and they sold really well at both of the festivals that I just went to. So that's a different way that you could lean into the holiday.
Yeah. So for me, I leaned into a different holiday this year. It was National Romance Day. I had no idea that there was a National Romance Day, and I was invited to go to Atlanta, Georgia, to a bookstore to be one of 3 authors that went. And so here is my car. I load it down in the back. As you can see, I stay with my brand. Those flowers were a Christmas gift last year that my husband gave me. They are real roses. I know it sounds crazy, but they will last a year. You do not water them. You do not put them in the sun, but they really come in handy because I have used them. They have been on every TV appearance. They have gone to every book club. They go everywhere. But as you can see on my table, I have signage. I give away pens. I also give away bookmarks, and I always have candy there. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little blue taffy. I always give away kisses, because with this, it's a sweet romance. So that was a different way of me incorporating. But when I do what we would call, I guess, swag, I found this great person who does, I don't know if you can see this. These are little baby chocolates, but that is my book cover, Where the Grass Grows Blue. And she turned those around for me in 2 days. I had them at my house. Yeah. They were a great price point, and they just give a nice little pop of color. And then when I go to a book, when I go to a book club or a speaking engagement, I always take a bag and I give it away. I have a little way of giving these things away, and that is a scout bag. And in my book, my character carries in a scout bag when she's, moving into her grandmother's house for the few weeks to clean it out. And so in it, you will find I always have a signed book. I have a bookmark. I have these cute little hydrangea bag tags. I have hydrangea cups, and then I have hydrangea napkins. And then I always give away those 2 little red and gold right there. That's kettle corn. So I order those by the boxfuls. And so I give them away. And I always warn everyone, because in the story, kettle corn plays a very important role into getting my couples together. But I really leaned into the brand. But again, you don't have to worry about, it doesn't have to be a Christmas or Thanksgiving or, Halloween. It can be something as small as National Romance Day if you're a romance writer. So really lean in and find out, because there are a lot of events that you can be a part of that's not a book festival. That's not, a fair. You can find a smaller event that works for you.
Yeah. And the other thing that you can do too is collaborate with other authors on certain days. We have done that. Hope and I and Lisa Rowe and Annie Catherine all did a giveaway for Valentine's Day one year. So, buddy up with some of your author friends that have some like themes to yours,
Mhm.
and create an event out of it. You don't have to go to an event. It could be something that you do together, whether it's a live on Instagram or a giveaway or a Zoom. um, get creative with leaning into these things.
Yeah. Well, Donna, I hate to say it, but our
Yeah.
time is ending right now. So can you give everyone our due now for this
Yeah,
episode?
absolutely. So take a look at the link that's on the show notes. Research the days and months that go with your book and your brand. Create a calendar of events and a social media calendar. Make a plan, whether it's monthly or weekly, and brainstorm how you can make the most of the holidays that fit your brand and your books.
I love that. Well, I can't believe again that 2024, our podcast year, season 2 is over.
Mm.
Before we go, do you have any Christmas wishes? Do you have a New Year's resolution that you want to share with everyone?
I do. I mean, I have some Christmas wishes. They're mostly intangible. One is just, the health and happiness of my family and friends, and getting to laugh and create new memories together. Um, in terms of my writing goals, I would love to finish editing book 3. I'm on the cusp of that, so I can kind of see it in the midst. Hope and I are working on a project that we are excited to tell you about, and we'll tell you about in the new year. And I'm looking forward to that. And ultimately, the biggest thing that I am looking forward to is just world peace moving forward in the next year.
I could not agree with you more. Everything that you
Yeah.
said, I just feel like I can just say ditto.
Yeah.
So again, but the one thing I want to say before we leave this season is that this year we have had a huge growth, and
Mm.
we are so thankful for those of you who listen to us. I know we have several listeners that are very loyal, but then we get new listeners, and we are so excited to have you guys join us and you participate, you follow us on social media. And if you guys have ideas that you want us to discuss next season, please let us know. We are open to those suggestions. And Donna, again, I wish you a Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, and a Happy New Year.
I wish you the same.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Hope Gibbs.
And I'm Donna Norman Carbone. It's time for you to get to work.
We look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks with another tip from your author friends.